Hello, everyone. This is Defense Politics Asia, and I want to bring you this news coming from Singapore. And it is very, uh, it went viral in Singapore, and it's one of these very bizarre case of um, you can't save someone from themselves. And so I just want, so basically, there's this lady, who basically gave away all her money and even loaned money to give away the money as well to scammers. And she went from 130,000 in savings dollars, the Singapore dollars, to just $600 in 2 months. And not just that, she even loaned money and basically got scammed $300,000. And this story is extremely weird because uh, that's just 2 months. Because of the transferring, because there's so many scam cases, especially in Singapore, because Singapore is a rich country. A lot of people have a lot of money. No, vis-a-vis people from overseas because of the exchange rate and the cost of living and earning power in Singapore. So there's a lot of scam in Singapore. The and so she got convinced into making some kind of investment or something. So I'm not sure. So and then she insisted on transferring the money. So because there's so many scams, the banks and the police all got flagged. So there's officers from the banks telling her that they believe that this is a scam, and but then she insisted that no, she is it's legitimate, and she even signed indemnity form to basically say that if this is a scam, then the bank will not be responsible. So and this involved even the police. The police even caught her. The police that is from the anti-scam center even tried to talk her out of it, but she still insisted on making the transfer. And in the end, because she signed the indemnity form and she's very insistent on transferring the money, the bank let her do. And it didn't. But this scam took pretty quickly because it ran out of money. Just 2 months, she filed a police report. Finally, admitted that she was scammed. But then she had only 600 Singapore dollars left. To put into into perspective, how much is $600? A meal in Singapore today, including a drink, may cost between $6 to $10. So 600 is basically you can pay your bills, your phone bills, and eat for 1 month, and that's it. And that is extremely depressing. So the so according to the police report, she transferred $130,000, which is a decent size saving for Singapore's standard, and but then she took another $200,000 loan. That's nuts, freaking nuts. You know how hard it is to just even pay off like $30,000 of debt. Like many of you guys who are, especially you are from America, a student loan is maybe around 80, 100,000 in an Ivy League school, and that will take forever to pay off. So imagine losing 200,000 Singapore dollars, which is around 150,000 just in the loan alone. Is nuts. So this comes at the same time where Singapore is now the parliament is proposing to set up a totally new law to protect people from scams, because people can't save themselves even when there is mechanisms in the police, in the banks, to flag suspicious transactions to protect people from scams. But the bill would now give power to the police to control the bank account. That means not allow the transaction to go through. So if the bill is passed, they will allow the police to issue restriction orders, which is, of course, I think in many other countries in the West, especially in United States, I don't think this will be palatable, because they will feel like this government stepping into private citizens business, own privacy. But I mean, Singapore was never never the kind of country where freedom and rights come before everything else. Like, Singapore is not the kind of country. But we shall see, because as they wrote in the Straits Times article, Singapore is believed to be the first to propose such a law to have the authority to protect the bank account. But of course, no, this is Singapore. Singapore's government is highly trusted. But in a different country, who knows, man? It could be like, you give the government the access to the bank account, who knows what they're going to do with it. So I understand the kind of concern. But I just thought this is like crazy. So the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is actually controls the anything related to the internal issues like the police, civil, the fire department and whatnot, uh, internal security, departments. So they say that based on previous cases, every month they could have done 10 or more restrictive orders to protect people, which means that there's more than 10 a month. There's at least more than 10 a month of scams every single month in Singapore. That's crazy. And this is not this concerns not just the victims. This concerns actually the country, because which means that the country that is under attack from scams is losing wealth, is losing money for nothing. That means usually we spend money, right? At least if we buy stuff from overseas, we trade, at least we get material back into Singapore. This is not a net loss to that point. You can actually do business and whatnot. But losing to scams is one way. Is like gambling. You don't, at least gambling you still earn money, if you win. But this is worse. So the person who was overseeing the case was so sad. He's like he tried. They said that they tried to do so much, but cannot save her from herself. And this actually also leads me to think about geopolitics as well. When you look at the situation with the Ukraine war, or like Germany situation with France, UK, or where the European economy, particularly Germany, especially Germany or UK, is like they are losing so much money. They're losing so much. They're losing their industries. And you can't save them from themselves. They are so committed to one idea that this is right. Just like this girl that lost all the savings, to believing that she is on the right path. She is doing something right. And then all these authorities, all these police, the government do not know what they're talking about. She want to take charge of herself. Germany believe that, or UK believe that, supporting Ukraine to the end, is right. It's the right thing to do. I mean, I'm not denying that their belief may have some substance to that, but everyone is who is a bit more sensible has been telling them that no, this is a bit dubious, and even Russia itself, the one that they claim that Russia is the bad guy. Russia has been telling them that you are destroying your own economy over Ukraine, and yeah, a lot of money has been lost. And not just that, if you talk about scam, Ukraine itself also is a massive scam in terms of investment. I have no direct contact with people who are involved in this world, in this universe of the financial investment world, where I understood that really a lot of money has been dumped into Ukraine, or rather, dumped into Ukraine, especially because of the first counteroffensive. The Balaklia offensive was so successful, and then the Kherson or the Kherson withdrawal by the Russians down to the south of the Dnipro River, that 100% convinced all the investors from all around the world, all the big investment firms, the governments, into believing that Ukraine can win the war, especially coupled with the initial Russian withdrawal from the entire northern front, because they thought that, okay, Russia have reached its limits. They cannot handle a expanding Ukrainian army to fight back the Russians. Then Russians do not have that appetite to fight. So once you have the initial Kiev withdrawal, the entire northern front withdrawal, then the loss of the Balaklia front, and then the loss of the Kherson, the northern side of the Kherson from the Dnipro River, the investments, the investors, the governments 100% bought into the idea that Ukraine can win the war, and that is the scam. You see, it is the same as a lot of other scams. I was googling, I was searching, all the other news regarding scams in Singapore. There's a lot, like there's crazy amount of news about scams. This is just the one that went really viral. There's another one that was like a 1 point something billion dollar scam, nickel scam, where it's basically a pyramid scheme. The no nickel was bought and sold at all, and people, at least 2% have 1 or 2% have died under the stress of the loss of their investment money, and is crazy shit as well. But you see that a lot has been already bought into this Ukraine thing, and when I was reading this this news about you can't save someone from themselves, it just pretty much reminds me about the West. You can't save the West from themselves if they really believe that Ukraine is the ultimate democracy that they must save. Then the entire Europe's fate lies in Ukraine, which is ridiculous. Like what about the time during the Cold War where half of Europe is actually part of Warsaw Pact? NATO was perfectly fine with fighting with the Warsaw Pact. If the war actually breaks out, they are confident that they can fight. Why suddenly, with the inclusion of Poland, with so many all the other countries, I'm not sure, what are the other NATO countries, then the Baltic states, you have so many more countries in the NATO, they have to afraid of one Russia. That makes no sense, and no one can dig themselves out from this ridiculous belief that they cannot stop Russia at all. If the Russians decided to go west after Ukraine, how could they believe that could be the case? And it's just like this case where everyone is coming in to talk to this scammy, but no one can save her. So anyway, this is just some random thoughts. It's just a bizarre news where it just came out randomly, and then I saw it. I was like, usually I don't read these kind of cases, but it's just unbelievable. So anyway, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. Hopefully this gives you some food for thought as well. I'll see you guys in the next update.